Uh, Randy, can you just talk about where you feel the overall this group is defensively with one game left in the regular season? Do you feel good about where you are with the postseason starting next week?
I do. I feel very confident where we're at, where we're headed. There's stuff that we're always working on day to day, week to week, things that we're fixing from past games. So we're always improving. We got a very young unit, as we all know, and so guys are like sponges, taking in as much as they can, including myself. And we have a great opportunity ahead of us with the playoffs, and we have our head down and we're working hard, and fully expect us to be ready when the time comes.
When did y'all find out about Micah going on the COVID list, and how would that affect y'all this weekend? Is just another wake up call about what's going on with this COVID-19?
I actually didn't know about Mike until midway through practice. I noticed he wasn't in on a particular package, so it's always been next man up. I know he's a very, very big part of our defense and our team as a whole, but like I said before, I have full confidence in everyone we have. Guys are going to step in and fill that role, and we'll be fine. He'll be out, rest up for a little bit. He'll be right back here with us.
When you were out with it, were you when you came back the next week, were you 100%, or did it take you a while? I mean, I know he should be back for the playoffs, but is
Yeah.
there an adjustment period? Are you back 100% at the beginning, or how does that work?
I mean, for me personally, I was fine. Other than your typical cold, like symptoms, I was fine throughout the whole, duration of me having COVID, and even after when I came back, I felt fine. But obviously, I think it's case to case. Everyone's a little bit different. Obviously, being vaccinated or not plays a factor in, and but guys have done a good job, and I think Mike has done a good job as far as taking care of everything and trying to stay away from COVID. But it's there, it's among us, and something we're gonna have to deal with.
Randy, I know y'all have talked about the Russian cover working together going back to Marinelli being here when you first got here, but how does Dan Quinn teach that to y'all and coach it, and how would you say it's factoring into the takeaways?
I mean, just everyone has a one particular job they do, and you focus on your job, you do that job well. It all comes together as a defense as a whole, and we talk about not doing more than what's asked, and stepping out of our comfort zone as far as what's being asked of us on that particular play or a particular scheme. But we want guys to be flexible, open enough to be able to make plays. So it's a there's a mix of that, and I think we've done a good job as far as finding that, and because of that, it's given a lot of guys, including myself, opportunities to make plays, and yeah, I think if we continue to do that and run to the ball, everything will come together in that aspect.
And Buda Baker was talking about how Arizona was very intentional last week trying to scheme disguises against Dak. How much do y'all talk in meetings week to week about this quarterback might struggle more with disguises? Let's emphasize that.
I'm sure it's talked about more on the back end with the secondary. I think we talk about it as far as tendencies and things like that week to week with whoever we're going against. But as much as I want to focus in on stuff like that, I think a lot of times we try to phase it out. As far as on the D line, and just look at it as that's just another guy back there. It's up to us to make the plays. It's more about how we dictate the flow of the game more so than what they're going to throw at us and how we counter that. So as long as we stay aggressive, which a lot of us are on the field, I think it plays into our our biggest strengths as a defense.
Randy, do you have a preference between going against a mobile running type quarterback like Kyler or Jalen Hurts, or would you rather go against a pocket passer?
I mean, I would prefer a pocket passer, obviously, someone that's just gonna stand there, stand tall. But it's a different kind of challenge when you have someone like Kyler back there. Obviously, he's a little bit more quicker than he is fast, and he has his own kind of tendencies as far as getting out of pass rush lanes. And Hurts kind of has the same deal, and we'll account for that as far as our rush plan goes. But yeah, if I'm being honest, obviously I want somebody that's just going to stand there, not run away. Yeah.
Go ahead, Bobby. Randy, you guys have gotten a lot of guys back from injuries in the last month in the D-line group. Where do you feel like you guys are at with like the chemistry and the communication as some of those guys are working back into the mix?
Well, it's been great since day one, since camp, since OTAs, and we've pretty much had the same group. Added some guys in, and some guys have left along the way. But with the injuries and the COVID and things like that, guys have tried to stay around as much as they can. You have Urban, he's been out for a while, but he's been around the facility, he's been around meetings, he's been around the guys and things like that. So it's nice to see. When guys, they spend so much time with you, you form this brotherhood, and then one of them leaves, it feels weird and changes the dynamic. So it's nice to see guys stick around as much as they can despite some of the things that we've been facing throughout the year.
You seem like you generally enjoy talking to quarterbacks during games and kind of interacting them, being mindful of where you are in relation to them after plays. Can you maybe shed some light on that part of the game within the game?
Well, everyone talks about how physical the game is, and it is, but, it's more mental than anything. And for me, sometimes if I can't impact the game physically, I try to impact it mentally, and whether that be talking to an O-lineman or talking to a quarterback, or saying some comment to a teammate that I know the other team can hear me saying, things like that. Just little things that can just get in the head of the opposing team, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I truly believe that it plays a factor, and if you're physically beating somebody, it definitely does play a factor into it if you're, constantly in their head about something, whatever it may be. So definitely an aspect of my game that I feel like is special. I definitely, cross the line sometimes, or I teeter with it, if that's the right word. But I do a good job of trying to, keep that anger or that side of me contained in the right way.
A couple of games ago, you kind of rolled over and said something to the Washington quarterback, and the ref was right there. I know how stringent the league is on taunting, so you must not have said anything too nefarious. But what exactly did you say in that situation?
I just told him he's going to be all right. That's all it was. I just felt like he needed, a friend down there. He was having a rough day. It was still early in the game, so I was just letting him know it was going to be okay. Kind of like I did, the prior time we played them, but I think the ref noticed that it was all fun and games. It wasn't really taunting, so he kind of let it pass.
Is that what you said the first time? Same message?
Nah, that's not what I said the first time. No. I don't think that deserved the taunting either, but, the officiating, that's a whole different conversation. So.
Randy, takeaways have been the identity of this defense. What has to happen for this defense to dictate or win a game when you don't get takeaways?
I think we just have to find different ways as far as impacting the game. As far as at least on the D line, you saw last game we only had one sack, and I think that plays into plays down the field, interceptions, fumbles, things like that. And we take pride in saying that the defense is going to go as far as our D line goes. That's how we feel like in the room, and. I don't know. I don't really know how to answer your question as far as what needs to be done if we don't get takeaways. We expect to get takeaways every game we go in, and when we don't, we have to dig a little bit deeper and figure out a way to come out on top. And we will. I think we have a good unit, a special group of guys that can make a lot of different plays, and we'll have to find that way here in the playoffs.
I've got two for you, Randy. One is Mike McCarthy was talking to us about takeaway opportunities. Is that something y'all focus on this week of, okay, Jaron almost had the ball there, the fumble was close depending on the refs, and so you don't view last game as you weren't doing what you needed to be in position, or what's the conversation like?
I mean, every week we work on, taking the ball away. I think that's definitely at the top of the list as far as things we work on day to day. And on the flip side, taking care of the ball. Coach McCarthy and Coach Bones, they put a video together every week that we basically watch the best takeaways throughout the week, and we watch ourselves, and we watch ourselves take care of the ball the right way and take the ball away. And so it's something that we work on, we pride ourselves on. We harp on it every day. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's one of the reasons why we're at the top of the list as far as takeaways in the league. We really do work on it every day, and it becomes second nature after a while.
Absolutely. And to end it off, you mentioned that you think talking a little bit with the quarterbacks and getting in their head is part of your game. Is there a most memorable thing you've said to them or they've said back to you in your career? I guess one that you'd be able to say on.
I remember, I think it may have been my rookie year. I think it was my rookie year. Maybe, I don't know. It's been a while. But we played the Panthers. We were playing Cam Newton. And we actually had those color rush uniforms on that we had this past game. And I think I hit him. And I hit him pretty good, kind of like I hit Kyler. And he popped back up kind of the same way Kyler did, and shrugged it off and pretty much said that didn't hurt. That wasn't that. Got to hit me harder, And it's funny because he's, at the time I was probably like 6'5", 235, and he's probably bigger than me, playing quarterback. So, but it's just cool for me because I watched him growing up and be able to play against him, hit him, and kind of talk some smack. And him look back at me and be like, "Nah, it doesn't faze me." It's cool.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, guys.